My name is Margaret Kachurowski. I live in Hamilton, Ontario. I've known Andrea since the mid-90s, before Andrea became involved in local politics. She was working at the McWestern Legal Clinic, and she was very involved in the anti-poverty movement in Hamilton. When Andrea decided to run for provincial government, I supported her then. I still support her. She worked very hard with community groups such as mine. I work in co-op housing, and Andrea worked very hard with the co-op to make sure that the funding that we need in order to survive exists, and she's constantly bringing her expertise to the table at the provincial level to make sure that the needs of people who need housing are not forgotten. In social housing, it's not only poor people who live in social housing, it's new immigrants, it's families that have just finished their education and have got huge student loans. By having social housing available, it gives people an opportunity to pay off their loans, to get involved with their community without worrying about how they're going to pay their rent, to have time for other issues, have time for family. It means that people can move on, that they can save a little bit of money and buy a house, and it just gives people so many benefits to have that hand up, rather than to be constantly in debt trying to pay landlords high rents. Andrea's always worked very hard to make sure that co-op housing and members who live in co-op housing, their needs are met. She's worked very hard with many community groups. For example, the park that we're sitting in is a lovely park. It's over an acre in size. And when Andrea was on City Council, she worked with the local community groups, and there were many of us, to have the old CN railway yards and barns torn down, and that there would be a lot of things for a lot of people to do in this park. There's now developed and has grown into being part of the Bruce Trail, which is nice. There's a walking lap, a running lap. The park is used almost 7 days a week for soccer and football activities with local community groups. There's a children's play area. In the summertime, there's activities for children, which is a real benefit to the community. In the times and the committee meetings that I've spent working with Andrea, one of the things that's impressed me is Andrea's willingness to listen to as many opinions as she can. She wants to hear from anyone who wants to sit at the table, and she's not quick to make her decisions. She wants to take into account what everyone has to say before she makes a decision. And she's very good at listening to people, which to me is a bonus in any politician. As the leader of a provincial party, I think Andrea would bring those same listening skills to the table, and I think she would make sure that everyone at the table had an opportunity to speak and participate in making a decision that she would then work very hard to carry out.